Today, from Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, this is the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All in all, we have a pretty pleasant December day in the Volunteer State. The chilly rain from last night has moved on. The temps have bumped up a bit here at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Randy Bullock has us all set, and we are underway from Nashville, Tennessee. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. For the first time, the Jacksonville Jaguars set to go here on offense, led out by the new face of the franchise, the #1 overall pick, of course, from this year's draft. It's Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson.
And for many people, there's a lot of pressure that comes with being the presumptive #1 overall pick for 2, if not 3 years now. But Trevor Lawrence has handled it well. The Jacksonville Jaguars, excited to have him in town, to say the least, because they've started guys like Gardner Minshew, Jake Luton, Mike Glennon just in the last season. But let's face it, they now have their franchise quarterback.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's 2nd and 10. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now Lawrence to throw. They go screen pass to Hyde. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back deep, Chester Rogers. And taken right on the 30. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Jags grab it.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Here's Hyde on the draw. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And he'll be pulled down as a penalty flag will rein in as well, and that would appear to be a face mask. It looked like they had the run stopped at the line of scrimmage, but the hand got up into the face mask, and the officials, they were looking for it. They spotted it.
It's an easy call, too, when it's right in front of them. You see that neck twist just a little bit, and that's enough to draw the flag.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence, and it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Marvin Jones, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Jags have taken the early lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. So that drive, 4 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. On the return, Dontrell Hilliard. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now come the Titans for their first possession, led by Ryan Tannehill in his 10th NFL season and 3rd with Tennessee.
And the former Miami Dolphin had a career renaissance in 2019 with Tennessee and carried it over into 2020. A career-high 32 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions, and those were the fewest he'd thrown in a full season. And speaking of full seasons, he played all 16 games for the first time since 2015. He's got to be excited about 2021.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. The first carry for Jeremy McNichols. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. Got his man. That's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's Tannehill. Man open, here is Jones. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
Well, I mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. And Tannehill's going to hang on to this. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tannehill. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Nick Westbrook-Akine, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Tannehill. Throw left side here, hauled in by the tight end Ferkser. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the 1st down marker. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here's Bullock now for the Titan field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Bullock will put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. Here's Chris Claybrooks to return. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. We'll check on his status when we get back. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
To throw again on second down, Lawrence being chased out left. And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the first down in the process.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well.
On the double.
They'll run on first down. Robinson. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Here's Robinson again on second down. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's Lawrence. That's going to be caught. It's Chenault. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Minutes to play in his first half. 7-3 our score.
Here we go.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Second and 10. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. He dumps it to Hyde. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A slant to Jones. And the Jags are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Beautiful throw right there on 3rd down, and it looked like this was going to be 6 points, but a nice touchdown-saving tackle at the end of this. Even still, this offense is knocking on the door now with a 1st and goal at the 1.
They'll run for it with Hyde. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Carlos Hyde punching it in from a yard away. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Point after here coming up. This one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was capped off by a Carlos Hyde touchdown run. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
On first down, it's Tannehill. That's caught. Nick Westbrook-Akine with it. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
First down now, but that clock rolling. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 44, Tannehill throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 43. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw here into the hands of Jones. And he's going to have a first down here as they're also into field goal range at the 28.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. The pass pulled in by Jones. What a catch. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Julio Jones. As the first half is winding down, and the Titans are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they'd only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, and when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as the head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead is down to 4. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Tennessee score. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
So the hold on special teams backs him up all the way inside the 15 to start. They'll start with the option. Pushing through the contact. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everybody to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. Ready to return, here's Hilliard. He takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. They go with McNichols to start the drive. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Tannehill. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Miles Jack working free that time to take him down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. They'll look to throw here. Gets this to Ferkser, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Lawrence. He's got his tight end O'Shaughnessy. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit, because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return, and it'll be Titan football.
Tennessee offense set to go again.
The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. They'll go McNichols to start the drive. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's McNichols as they stay on the ground. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill.
Open man, Westbrook-Akine.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now Austin. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5 now. Lawrence out to the flat for Hyde. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Lawrence will throw.
Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. And he's brought down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. first down, a run with Hyde. Danico Autry is in on the stop.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On second down, it's Robinson. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Again, it's Robinson.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively.
And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Caught by Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Tannehill.
That's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill.
Over the middle, complete. It's Jones.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Right now, no questioning the toughness of this Jaguar defense. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Tannehill. Open man, Julio. Touchdown, Tennessee. Julio Jones. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. (17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. Clay Brooks to return it. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Rookie Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguar offense ready to take over. And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. Buying time to his left. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
Good job over there, baby. I see y'all. Good
How many
job
times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Lawrence going to give this to Robinson. Draw play. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Able to complete this to Chenault. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
First down, Robinson, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Second down at 4. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now the Titans will use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll run it now with Robinson. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They run. Robinson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And the Jaguars have won the game. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And I tell you, these division games never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game on the road, tight, and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Nashville.